is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by the Bahamas Football Association, Burger King, the Cat Island Break and Scrape Festival, City of Hope, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's and Games, Pindertal, Prince Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, Tropical Gyros, and the Water and Sewage Corporation.
So I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. For them, for you, for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many coming through. See many coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man. But literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home which are talking to you. But then you, all these questions, they're for real. Like, who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever?
You've got it locked and loaded to the Wednesday, May 28th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. Open line Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about. It is hump day. And like I said, it's the middle of the week. And plenty to talk about. And if you want to chime in, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC. 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence. 323. We still there, Mr. Producer? I feel like I felt like I had a little drop, but once we good, we'll keep it moving. Okay, we still good to go? All right, no problem. But like I say, phone lines are open in New Providence. 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free at any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. All right, like I said, it is Wednesday, it's hump day. Lots to talk about. The budget went down this morning. We got to mention that, but I'm not really going to get into detail on that. Obviously, I want to do my due diligence on it. I want to say I got to parse through, the statements from the OPM, the leader of the opposition, all two of them. I guess we got a big deal with Mr. Bain, got to say too, right? Okay. And at the end of the day, obviously, questions need to be asked. But boy, that was a lot to consume. And it seems like they've been listening to the cries of the Bahamian people now. But can it be pulled off? Can it come to fruition? So we'll talk about that more in detail. And I'm not hating on it. I would love to see that come to fruition. It answers a lot of things, a lot of questions. But is it concrete? Is it valid? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to get the full attention of this government to make sure that this happens? Or is it more promises a la Abaco, a la Freeport, a la the TCU? Anyway, I digress. But like I said, we do have a lot to talk about. And it's not just that. All right, as a matter of fact, it starts with the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines into 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
Here's just blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views and Matter since 1844, all brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. TUC slammed on parade pullout. And I want to get your opinion on that because, like I said, I understand they had a deal, but that was with the old opposition, not with this current government. And that's what I said back in the day. You got to deal with the current opposition. If they become the government of the day, that could mean the deal's off. So something is soured there. both sides finger pointing. So I want to know what both of you have to say. And at the end of the day, though, supposed to, a deal is a deal. More disenfranchised, workers. Boy. So we'll see about that. All right, caller, I see you. I'll get to you in a second. Ferguson, I was not named King's Counsel because of the MOU. Read more on that. Other umbrella unions gear up for Labor Day parade. And let's be honest with you, I get the whole fact that you're politicized for years, especially by the PRP. But they claim, that Jimmy claim, that's when they're going to launch their re-election campaign. So let's see how it goes. Because once it starts, now you can't stop. It's on and popping. Silly season had begun, U.S. student visa interviews paused. That is a big red flag right there. You got to keep your eye on that. Thompson says F&M would eliminate taxes on essential items if elected. Man sentenced to 5 years in prison for pulling a loaded gun at club. And I don't want you to lose track of this. There is an above-average hurricane season predicted. So do your due diligence now. Don't put that to the back pages and get caught up on what else is going on. And what else we got to talk about when we get to the buzz? Still no answers on that Grand Lucayan deal. 21 questions I got for you. And you answered none. A lot of talks, but no nothing. And for an administration that loves pomp and circumstance. Look how they blowing their horn about the budget today. Latre putting out more things from the OPM today. More flyers. More memes, more information. So why wasn't it like this for the deal in Grand Bahama? If they got something to talk about in a photo op to brag on, they will. This is how this administration goes, and it's mum's the word on the Alucaya deal. Almost a week later, nothing, nada, zero, zilch. Who's Ancient Waters? Did the 120 million reach yet? Who are the parties going to be involved? Come on, man, we can go on for this. And we can talk about it in the buzz when we get to the flip side of the break. There's plenty to talk about. All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Great church, you know, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, right there, bro. Hey, they're saying that people, they're not going on the Labor Day parade because they protesting because they're making it political. I don't think they even have to protest. Use your orders out there. Naughty is about 350 degrees outside. I've been outside yesterday, and even my sweat.
Man, listen here. I know when it's hot like that, sweat is fine. New cracks and crevices on your body you didn't know existed.
You know what's going on. So they ain't got to protest for that.
So what you saying, Carla, to me is people going to play it in the shade with the Labor Day March? They can play it on the side streets and keeping the cool and keeping the shade?
All right. I think that's what they can do this time.
Why you think they hanging on the sideline, though, with the streets in? Are they disgruntled with this administration?
To be honest with you, right? Every Labor Day parade is really be political, So I don't see you as the big deal, not just this particular one. Every one in the last past years is be political. So what makes this one more different than other
and usually it's mostly politicized by the PLP, but I've seen other parties politicize it as well, too. But, they claim to be a party, that cares about workers. So obviously, it's a good way to piggyback their launch of their political campaign, their election campaign.
It was always politicized, though. So
but shouldn't that parade and that march and that day be for the workers? That's their day, correct? All right, good stuff, Quad. I appreciate it. It kind of dropped you, kind of lost you. I mean, we didn't drop you. Try call back if you need to finish your point. But like I say, that march has been politicized for years, in one way, shape, or form. So you can't cry over spilled milk there. It should start be politicized. If the PRP wants to start their campaign, do it adjacent to the Labor Day March. And in a quarter, they do the Labor Day and say, oh yeah, and as well, right after the Labor Day March, we're starting our campaign, our election campaign, come join us. That's a different story. But to make it look like, that they are trying to hijack a march for certain workers may like it, and other workers, that may be the coup de grace for them politically. That may cost them a vote in the election. You never know. And of course, you have news outlets and social media news outlets. Is the Labor Day holiday now becoming a PRP hijacked holiday? And of course, despite setbacks, Naughty, have you seen this? Despite setbacks, the spirit of innovation of SpaceX remains unbroken. Starship flies far, then crashes in fire, 9th test by SpaceX. Now, again, more issues with SpaceX. They don't have a good track record. They're still in the testing phase, so plenty of them rockets going to blow up. So as long as the debris don't fall over us and have an effect on us, and we can identify said debris before it sinks to the depths where it's unretrievable, then we should be all right. But we can't keep making the same mistake over and over and over with that regard. In that regard. All right. So we got, like I said, the budget. I will definitely have a gander at that in order for. Let me do my due diligence on that, man. I'm going to take it all in. See what is what. See what is concrete, what I feel is legit, what I feel is BS, so on and so forth. Lots to look at there. Lots to look at. All right. So let's check the text lines again. Naughty, this PLP does not have a balanced budget. When you look at it in depth, you will see. Texters have already started. All right, let's get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll get into the buzz. We'll be talking the budget. We'll be talking the SpaceX situation. Lots to talk about. Lots in the headlines. The situation, brewing over between the TUC and this current administration. Where's it all headed? All right, we got all of that and more to talk about. And let me know how you feeling on certain issues with Amagatcha Good. If I might have missed it, hit me up and let me know how it's going down. A lot of people in the tourism sector as well. Let me know what's going on there. Because I know there's a lot of issues, especially with the excursions. And the tour industry, which should be exclusively retail to Bahamians. Got issues of load shedding as well we got to talk about. So we got plenty to talk about coming up on the flip side of the break as the Wednesday, May 28th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
So I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time.
Naughty Johnny's restaurant can only be described as the experience you want to recreate again and again and again. Their motto is simple food done well. You're welcome into their home at Naughty Johnny's, where you can dine on crack conch fritters, and other Bahamian favorites. There's also an international flair that's guaranteed to offer something for everyone. Enjoy a good meal and listen to a live band on their patio Friday and Saturday nights, or brunch on Saturday and Sunday, only at Naughty Johnny's restaurant in the Old Town Plaza, Old Fort. They're open 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. Naughty Johnny's, well worth the
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copy or leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again from the island that gives you mince mutton, okra soup, and of course flour cake and rake and scrape. It's the 26th annual Cat Island Rake and Scrape Festival in beautiful Artistown, Cat Island, June 6th through 8th. We have acts such as Veronica Bishop,
He come here with the hands swinging.
Chino D, Stelito, Cupid, and of course our very own down home guys like Lacido and the boys,
I don't like no rigging and scraping in here.
Ophi and the websites, and much more in beautiful Artistown, Cat Island. June 6th through 8th. See you there.
Turn up the heat and the flavor with the new jalapeno fire from KFC. Crunch into the iconic taste of KFC's original recipe, extra large filet that's made with KFC's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices cooked to perfection. Stacked high with spicy jalapeno pepper, jack cheese, and our jalapeno sauce, all wrapped up in a soft toasted brioche bun. Go bolder and crank up the heat with our spicy zinger filet. The new jalapeno fire is bringing the heat, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, the May 28th edition of Talking Heads. And of course, you know, it is the Wednesday Hump Day edition. Middle of the week, 4:26 p.m. is the time. The phone lines are open in New Providence. You can chime on in whenever you feel like. Of course, you know, text lines are open as well. 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. And, of course, the phone lines are open. Like I said, it is Wednesday. Open line Wednesday. Phone lines open in New Providence. 323-6232. 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free to anyone in the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Let me check out the text lines real quick. Naughty, this is a great election year budget. I'm looking forward to the taxes that will be increased and the borrowing from the IMF and IDB after the elections are over next year. We have to pay for this budget somewhere or the other. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud, laugh out loud. Naughty, afternoon. Anton was away for a while. He said, sounds like he stopped drinking the PRP Kool-Aid on his return. Now he's calling it like he sees it. Well, you know, there's only one way to find out. Let him call Talking Heads for same old, same old. We know how to figure that one out. All right? But I would like to hear from Anton, especially if he's taking off those yellow-colored spectacles. Naughty, based on the budget summary, revenue is listed at $3.89 billion and expenditure at $3.82 billion, indicating a $70 million surplus. However, the reported surplus is $75 million, showing a $5 million difference, not reflected in the high-level totals. Naughty, good afternoon. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, this is clearly the campaign budget. You think? You think? Whee! All right. Mr. Producer, let me know if we got how we progressing with the callers. I know we got some callers. We'll get to them in a second. Let's get to the text lines real quick. Naughty, taking 5% VAT off certain items is silly, especially when the F&M had zero VAT on said items. Breaking news. According to the Nassau Guardian, effective September 1st, 2025, the Davis administration will reduce the VAT rate to 5% on a range of products that include baby diapers, Depends, feminine hygiene. Yeah, this is very, thanks for following up that texter. Yeah, I get it. Students' visas are frozen by the U.S. Naughty, this is a whole new can of worms. But again, Bahamians like to worry about things they cannot control. There are many other options, the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Not my Bahamian brothers and sisters seem to think they have some inherent right to the United States. They don't. It's a foreign country. We're the Bahamas, they're the United States. Naughty, good afternoon. I sent this text yesterday, and I'll send it every day. Please read. All PRPs, please find something constructive to do today. Lying for Davis and the PRP is not considered constructive. Thank you very much, especially if you're on a government job. Okay. Yeah, boy, silly season definitely done start. The gloves off. No one blows being true. I don't know. I don't know with this visa thing. No, keep an eye on it. But what does that say? What does that really tell us? Are we wanted there? Or maybe just for a short term to come spend our money, do our shopping, and go back home. But the potential to go there and stay there long term and get better jobs and possibly at home, a better opportunity, and build up America instead of our own country. That's why you got to go. Wow. Did not add something like 44, if I'm not mistaken, the figure was like 44 billion to the bottom line in America with student visas or student type situations. I could be wrong on the figure, but that was a chunk of money. Excuse me, I know it was a lot. Let's get back to the text lines. Again, Naughty, good afternoon. I agree with your previous texter. It's not just their opinion, it's my opinion also. This has to be the campaign budget. Do you think that early election is on the way? I want to hear from you all. I mean, at first it was dismissed, it was blown off, but do you think it could be a little early election? Could this be now like hold your seat in dominoes? Mr. Davis trying to make sure hold his seat? Knowing full well some people may lose their seat? Let me know your take on it. Lines are open. Naughty, I heard you talking. Good afternoon. I heard you talking about the seawall on the Go Slow Bend. Just past there just now. Absolutely. And you can insert the adjective of your choice right here. Absolutely indeplorable. I agree. I stopped there yesterday, MJ, and I stopped there yesterday and asked the gentleman who was working on there what company, had the contract for this, what was the progress with the wall, what was going on. All he could tell me, and I quote, was, hey, it's soon fini. It's soon fini. I telling you it's soon fini. That's it. That's it. All right, so that's all I got. That's all I got. So I got to go back tomorrow and revisit. Maybe the boss will be there. I can figure out what's going on. Naughty, I am beyond upset. I am really peered. If they're removing VAT from diapers and feminine products, they might as well extend it all to toiletries, to all toiletries. Aren't they all still essential items, not luxuries? Naughty, good afternoon. It's not the end of the world if we don't go to the U.S. Behaviors can explore other options, including UB and UW action is on the way. Plenty options. Plenty options. Like I say. You could even do courses online. I know that takes away from some of the experience, but like I say, is America really a comfy place to be if you're a foreigner right now? What's your take on that? Naughty, if I was you, I would take a picture and do a pictorial time. Shh. Quiet text, huh? Shh. All I can tell you is great minds think alike. Shh. And go to Naughty Got Jokes on Facebook and watch all the episodes of the coldest and get caught up because you might be on to what's next. Shh. Naughty, you're correct. Online courses may take away from the experience, but the end goal is still the same. Correct. And if you don't have to deal with any unnecessary BS, then that might be a blessing in disguise. Naughty, regardless of what this administration, if this is the election budget, this administration, in my opinion, is gone either way. The PLP is one and done. Naughty, Trump's America in its present state is chaos and bipolar at best. Wow, how do you all really feel? Naughty, I really like your dominoes view and analogy. Hold your seat, hold your man. Exactly. If you can't see this administration right now and the KG veteran for them and others, they making sure they seat safe because they done been in opposition before and they know how the thing go. They lose their seat, this now, they done. Not just politically, but political career over. So they're going to work hard to keep that seat. They definitely going to work hard to keep that seat.
time on my ride. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take for them, for you, for everybody in this room, but they don't seem to see many coming through. See many coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to
Johnny's is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Turn up the heat and the flavor with the new jalapeno fire from KFC. Crunch into the iconic taste of KFC's original recipe, extra large filet that's made with KFC's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices cooked to perfection. Stacked high with spicy jalapeno peppers, pepper jack cheese, and our cool but kickin' jalapeno sauce, all wrapped up in a soft toasted brioche bun. Go bolder and crank up the heat with our spicy zinger filet. The new jalapeno fire is bringing the heat, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Wednesday edition of Talking Heads, and boy, I can tell you, now I know exactly how Pearly feels, because I was just moving along, and then boom, out of nowhere, gone. See you later. So I see how it goes, Pearly. I don't think it's your big finger in the air fryer all the time now. I don't think so. I don't. All right, let's go to the text lines real quick. Naughty, great, and I agree with your text. A great analogy about Domino's. Guess some will definitely have to get up from the table. Naughty, that guy you talked with about the seawall was the boss. He told you, I told you when it was finished. We Bahamians are swimming in the ecosystem of BS. Boy, I tell you. That's a lot of BS. No Freedom of Information Act, no Procurement Act. You know? Naughty, I can only laugh at your text saying boss, but at the end of the day, my true Bahamian in me screams out over my debt. See, we can't go there, but you got to keep an eye on the situation. And again, I share the same belief as Chris Rock, my comedian brethren. But ain't nobody can stop me. I beat the crap in you all right then, because I know, yeah. However, if you leave a country and you try to swim 500 miles, or you try to get there on a floaty or on an inner tube, get to another country, and you get to that other country, and you help build up that country and that country's traditions, belief, and you become part of that country's culture. You don't try to change that country's culture, and you help build that country up, I have no problem with that. But if you come here and you try to displace Bahamians, and you try to take advantage of the system, and you become a burden on the system where Bahamians are displaced, I have a problem with that. And I have a problem with all foreign nationals that put that strain on Bahamians. Not just one ethnicity, a ton. From the gated communities to the sloops that just washed up and everywhere in between, if you know what I mean. And for those of us who say Bahamians first, we have to act it and we have to live it. You can't say Bahamians first, but then at the end of the day, when nobody looking, hire cheap labor because it helps our pocket, but it hurts the country in the long run. That's not helping the country. We got to be able to talk about these things without getting xenophobic and without getting, volatile and hostile. Cooler heads prevail, but at the same time, we need to have this difficult conversation. We need to address it as Bahamians, with Bahamians at the forefront. Because at the end of the day, this we things first. Nobody what's happening with the cannabis bill. I think the medical and religious aspect was passed, but have we heard anything since then? Nothing with medicinal, nothing with recreational. And nothing with recreational especially. Vaguely on medicinal and religious, but nothing on recreational. But it'd be very interesting to see who allegedly is waiting in the wings with those licenses to sell and distribute and grow. Oh, when you connect those dots. Yep. I'm sure some of y'all will just scream to the heavens if it does come out. But it's just allegations swirling, so we got to keep an eye on it. 4:42 p.m. is the time. On a Wednesday, on a hump day. And still, just addressing this, we hear Bahamians expressing concern about the budget and obviously trying to get to the bottom of it and see, the nuts and bolts of it before they comment. But at the same time, all right, Quarters, I see you. I'll get to you right now in 2 seconds. We got to look at it. Is it truly an election budget? Can this be pulled off? There's some things on there that I want to see happen. I definitely want to see happen. But can we pull it off? Can we get it done? Or is it more like promises like when we've heard to Grand Bahama and the TUC and so on and so forth? Good afternoon, Noddy. Did you hear the voice note from Madam Joan Sawyer? She was very blunt about the government. She always is. She always is. That's why I'm a fan of hers. All right. Let's get to the phone lines. I think we got C. Allen on the line. We got a couple other callers. We'll get to them right now. C. Allen, what's going on?
How you doing? Just not how you doing. First, let me just speak on two things. One, the students. Earlier today on Dwight, he spoke about the students and their social media accounts. I just want to let you know that, just for them to know that as far as information is getting out of your social media accounts, there's technology now available that they can read through your social media accounts in under 10 seconds. And once you have certain information. So what happens is that it's a whole behavioral shift that has to happen in reflection to what it does for education. But most importantly, this provides an opportunity for us to reimagine education in the Bahamas. But it requires us to rethink what we've been doing before in the past, which includes restructuring and actually knowing exactly the Bahamas we want to build. Something you didn't hear much of in this budget debate. What skills Grand Bahama can have. And I know people say, you can't keep the light on and power on, but part of building a destination or an infrastructural for a city marshal like Freeport, that is part of the destination strategy. You don't build it upon a defective base or sand. Having the proper infrastructure for technology such as 5G, having the technology for low-cost power energy, power generation regime for Grand Bahama, new power generation, integration, microgrids, all those things is part of doing it because you are building a multi-billion-dollar economy. There's over 500,000 people a year that's projected from entering the U.S. alone for education. $7 billion is a spend that those people would have spent had they extrapolated, had they go in. So if we have the opportunity to create a destination, we could then let Bahamians piggyback on it and attract them back. It's a whole lot of things that we can do, and we're talking about less than 2 years. And Donald Trump has another, I think, almost 4 years. How much weeks he didn't use? Probably 18 weeks of what he done spent. So we have to start reimagining the Bahamas and the CMO. CMO, which brings me to the budget, to this budget contribution. Essentially, talk about the Bahamian economy. I saw nothing in there except mention that would actually make me feel confident that we can meet that so-called balanced budget deal. I saw no growth strategies in the speech. I saw more gaslighting than anything else. We're going to talk about this, I guess, over the whole budget period. But you talked about the Golden Yoke program. We talked about referring to their economic plan and their blueprint for change, which is unfulfilled document, and this is why they are asking for more time to finish doing what they promised the first time. But I don't see anything for the promised detailed vision for recovering, rebuilding, and revolutionizing the country's economy. They haven't done it in almost 4 years, and this doesn't show it. I think we're at a place now in our economy, we need substantive information, not more gaslighting. How, what, when, why, of these things that has to be done. We are in a bad place, and the fact is, just think about this. We haven't built the schools we need. We haven't built the hospitals we need. We haven't upgraded the infrastructure we need. We haven't addressed the billion-dollar debt or losses that was established from the last time the Progressive Liberal Party was in play. We haven't addressed the $500 million legacy debt. We haven't done a whole lot of things. And so essentially for us to have the so-called balanced budget, it's a simple process of not paying our bills. And so essentially the strategy of not paying the bills you haven't paid, contractors, raises you haven't given the workers, all of these different things cannot be a strategy for maintaining where we are. When you don't do repairs and maintain what is there, the problems only get worse.
If you don't maintain, you can't sustain, and then everything goes down the drain, man. That's how it goes, Alan.
It's going to get worse and worse. And so I expected more when you come out, especially for someone who claimed they want another term. You should have brought us a plan for the next 7 years, or 6 years, considering that you haven't done anything for 4. You say, okay, here's what I'll do over the next 6 years, and here's this wonderful plan of what's going to happen, considering that you already made an announcement you're going into campaigning. I'm disappointed, but I'm looking for a detailed breakdown of this speech as well as what it's going to be saying over the coming. I think this is the period of process where we must hold them accountable day by day, word for word, for what they say, and call them out. It's been gaslighting us for the last 2 years. We got to have it to stop. Every time I get in the car and I see gaslight, I think of the PLP. Thank you so much.
Good stuff, Sian, and I got to get to these other calls now. We'll talk again soon, but great contributions as always. Let's get to these other calls. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. But if you're on hold too long, you can call us back. All right? Hit us back, call if you're waiting too long. If you run out of minutes, call us back. Naughty, you guys are too accepting. Illegal is illegal. Well, first of all, who are you guys? Are you texting as a Bahamian, or are you a foreigner adding a comment on this? How ironic if that's the case. Who are you guys? And let me go on this xenophobic raid. Naughty, you guys are too accepting. Illegal is illegal, whether you come on an inner tube or a sloop. Well, didn't I address that? Whether you come from the gated communities to our sloop and anywhere in between? As long as you enter this country legally, you simply don't. As long as you enter this country illegally, Tex, I think that's what you're trying to say. You simply don't belong here, whether you have to build it or not. Bahamians are too passive and accepting. The laws are what they are, and they simply need to be enforced. Well, enforce those laws if that's the case. But I also know that we signed on to some international human rights treaties. So we have to not violate those as well. And what about the countless Bahamians that are made up of immerse themselves in this country and become part of the culture, become part of the community, become part of the fabric that is the Bahamas? You're just going to drop trow and crap on their contributions? No, man. There's a happy medium there. But we need to call all and sundry out, not just one in particular set. All have issues now. Some are harder and worse than others. And some are here in more numbers than others, but we're going to deal with the whole situation, and we need to deal from the gated communities to the sloops and everywhere in between. And you, Dexter, you're saying your number too, because you're saying you guys. I need to know if you're a Bahamian or not, because if you guys mean you offering commentary and you're not from here, then you're going to need to go back and fix your immigration problem. Why are you here? Just in case. Now, if you want to be specific and clarify if you're Bahamian or not, then that's good enough for me too. We can go from there. But don't come on to me, buddy. You guys, guess what? You too accepting also. Naughty, good afternoon. As Mr. Lang pointed out, Minister of Finance typically include detailed tables with granular rather than high-level estimates, but that wasn't done. Why the departure from the standard practice? Interesting. Very interesting, Mr. Bond. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hey, good afternoon, Noddy.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah. Hey, Noddy. See, the problem is when it relates to the when we talking about illegal immigrants, right? And we just try to lump all, right? Yes, all are a problem, right? Because they come under the banner illegal. So you really can't really no differentiation between illegal. But here is the problem, right? And this is the problem what Bahamians have, right? We are being overtaken, right? Saturated, right? By one group of people, right? See, me when they all come to this reality, yeah, the Chinese we are taking all of our businesses, right? Yeah, that's
but
a
see,
fact.
you know something, Koala? I agree with you. There is a strong populace of foreign nationals here, especially from Haiti. However, while we focusing on them, there is a ton of lighter-hued foreign nationals, all right, in gated communities, trying to take over these said gated communities, make them their little fiefdoms, all right, railroad Bahamians off of being on boards and having a right to speak in their own country and do their own property. So it goes from there to the sloop and everywhere in between,
And I agree with you. So you who living inside the gated community, right?
I don't live in no gated community, but I got
just
friends
saying, right?
inside the gated community.
But I just said, right? The ones who live
Just
in
like
the
I got friends in the hood too. That's why I know what's going on from tip to top.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
So we have to be real, because at the end of the day, right? It ain't about hating nobody. It's about everybody trying to take care of their own individual household. Nobody's gonna allow somebody to come in their house and just do what they want to do.
Correct.
If something is wrong with that
You got
individual.
to follow the rules of the house. You got to contribute to the well-being and the upkeep of the house, and you got to make sure the house is successful. Keep the lights on, keep food in the fridge. You got to contribute.
Right, but that's the same. We saying the same thing. So at the end of the day, right? We in the Bahamas, we have to get. Let us at least know who is here or who is coming here.
Correct. We need to know who is who and what is what. And when it comes to that instance, we need to be Bahamians first. Aqua, gold, and black rather than red, yellow, black T-shirt, colored T-shirt, whatever
I agree with you, Mom. I agree, but the politicians is the ones what have us divided because why? They want to continue the pillage like they've been doing. And
this $100 heirs and accent millionaires. We know how the thing go, man.
And this what you call it, what we see going on right now. You got to be wasting Stevie Wonder, right? If you can't see this political right, because see, if somebody say they can do something, right, but they already said they can do something before they didn't do it. So how in the world? What type of people?
Sound like we lost the
the same thing over and over. Oh, I can do.
And a promise is a comfort to a fool. So be tired of the lip service. We want to see some action. Good call, caller. We got to get to the other calls. Good stuff. Talking Heads.
It was popping, Noddy.
It was going on 52.
Yeah, I like your little monologue as relates to, of course we don't hate the Haitians, but, the numerology, the psychology, come on, Noddy, just give me a break here, man. What are we supposed to do? But, it's being facilitated, and so it's multifaceted, but they pose a problem as far as squatting on the land. And they away with a lot of city ordinances as relate to opening up restaurants and these trailers, no running water, etc. Whatever they're doing, they're operating breakfast places without being enforced. But me and you go and do it. Just for me to operate a little poultry shop, they tell me my bathroom would be whatever. I have a bathroom.
Right, we have to operate within the law and the culture of the country.
No one has never been found for building without a work permit. I don't even want to talk about migrants because it's all a political scam that creates schisms and et cetera, and all that. I'm not even into that because I'm sick and tired of talking about it. I don't want to bring some consciousness to something else, okay? Firstly, Noddy, a little joke here. I live in a hated community, not a gated community. A garden of heathens, not Eden, all right?
You rolling today.
Yeah, man. So now, to be honest with you, Noddy, there are two things, quick points here as it relates to the scenario with the visas to the states and all of that. And I don't know if everybody who has read George Orwell's or Eric Blair's book, 1984. Right?
Oh, it's me right here, sir.
Yeah, it mentions the thought police. And so when you read about Operation Lockstep, Rockefeller Foundation scenario narrative, these are the things that they call people conspiracy theorists, right? All of these things exist. These are nothing new. These silent rebel required wars. You saw them with cyborgs in which they want to scan your brains before you enter the country. So I don't know why people are so intrigued about these type of impositions. But Nordy, politics is destroying this country because when you look at it, I intuitively, well, I listened to Lang, but I didn't get to listen to the whole show. But intuitively, blindly, I knew that Lang would have had a discrepancy with this 3.7 growth or whatever disparity, and he mentioned something that it was the 4-year disparity or whatever. But I listened to the rebroadcast because I was in and out of the shop. But the SpaceX thing also, Nordy, when you look at it, have you ever heard, you heard about the Melanesian Islands, right? Nordy?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the experiment that they did in the Melanesian Islands with the nuclear weapons in which they pushed the locals and told them that this is for the better of humanity, and then they use immobilized sheep to find out the effects of anthrax and other radioactive material, and they allowed the people to stay there, and then they used them as a part of the experiment. And so because they couldn't grow food because the soil was contaminated, the United States government fed them, but they lied, said it was in the guise of humanitarian. So it's the same thing about everything else. The SpaceX and all these different things. What goes up must come down. You don't need to be a genius to figure out that things, the Cresser intuitively mentioned that after effects. So you don't have to be a genius. You just don't have to trust blindly. And so that's how the world works. By duping you now and you finding out later. You have to be read to know that. And you can't be spoon-fed and gaslighted by professionals about what they give to you on the radio, whether it be politicians within their discipline. Some people within their discipline, they're very smart and pragmatic, but without that, they're idiots. And so we must realize that as a population, otherwise you're living in an era of scientific dictatorship, Nordy. Bless up.
Bless up, 52. Good stuff, man. And good stuff. Everybody who chimed in and texted in all the way through. I think that's it. No more callers, right, Mr. Producer? We run our course. Good first hour, man. Good first hour. Everybody who chimed in, texted, and called in. We're going to take that quick break right now. Cuban Willie's numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game, is coming up. And then on the flip side of that, we got the news at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Then we'll get into the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking sports. Pearlie will zoom in. And I will be having a candid conversation. We'll be talking all things sports coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Keep it right where you got it. The Open Line Wednesday edition of Talking Heads. The Wednesday, May 28th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
So I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling. So I'm taking my time on my ride. That's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take for them, for you.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Wepa, soy Joe Cuban Willie, and it's Wednesday, and here's my numerology report for today, brought to you by the Island Game. The 3-ball special. 3 pelotas. 3. 2, 4, 8. 248, 248. That's your 3-ball for today. Play it and win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friend.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by the Bahamas Football Association, Burger King, the Cat Island Break and Scrape Festival, City of Hope, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's and Games, Pindertal, Prince Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, Tropical Gyros, and the Water and Sewage Corporation.
So I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling. So I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take for them, for you, for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many coming through. See many coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home who tried talking to you, but then you ignored them still. All these questions, who live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever? I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time. Taking my time on my
We are back at you on the Wednesday, May 28th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. Mr. Producer, keep an eye out for Pearly. We should have Pearly zooming in short order if he has
I just have to keep an eye out for me, and I'm here.
Well, I'm zooming today, so I can't, keep an eye out for you like I normally do because I'm zooming as well.
Oh, but if that's so. Something good thing we on radio because I had a great comment, but I have to hold that till I see you.
I got 2 words for you, and I don't have to wait till I see you. Dodgers suck.
We did lose today. Kershaw pitched the gem, but we did lose. Tanner Scott blew it for us, but that's all right.
But
that happens.
What's going on with Kershaw? Is that just Russ Pearly? I mean, because the ERA is...
Kershaw pitched some strong innings today. I mean, I think he pitched 4 or 5 strong, 5 or 6
But
strong innings.
He came in 0-1 with a 7.50 ERA.
No, his first game, he had a bad. His first game was he got shellackled. His second game, the rain came down, so once you done warm down, let him go back out there. But that was 2 innings of no-hit ball. And then today, he pitched today, how many innings did he pitch today? He pitched, can't remember, I'm getting a little younger, He pitched 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 3 Ks.
Not bad.
So he had a good time. But Tanner Scott got shellackled, gave up 3 hits and 4 runs today.
Wow. And that's your relief. That's usually your pride and joy. Well, we'll talk about that more.
Huh? The bullpen has been taxed. The bullpen, all those pitchers, you got Snell out, you got Trainier out, you got Glasnow out, you got Sasaki out. So the bullpen has been tested. So Tanner Scott been pitching a lot more than he needs to pitch. So I understand that. But like I always say, better to be hurt in May than in September.
We'll talk about that more and who's in and who's out. Brought to you by Tropical Gyros coming up in short order. But right now, it's time for Today in Sports History. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And boy, on this day, a lot of things happened this day. May 28th in sports history, 1941. The first night game in Washington, D.C. took place. The Yankees beat the Senators 6-5 at Griffith Stadium. 1946, the first night game at Yankee Stadium took place. The Senators beat the Yankees 2-1. 1951, Willie Mays hit his first home run. It was also his first major league hit. 1956, Dale Long became the first to hit home runs in 8 consecutive games. The first player to hit home runs in 8 consecutive games. 1957, the National League club owners voted to allow the Brooklyn Dodgers to move to Los Angeles and that the New York Giants could move to San Francisco. And Pearly's not been right since. 1962, Wide World of Sports with Chris Schenkel premiered on CBS Radio. 1995, the White Sox and the Tigers combined for 12 home runs at Tiger Stadium. 2003, Patrick Waugh of the Colorado Avalanche announced his retirement from the NHL. He left his career as the NHL leader in victories, 551, and games played, 1,029. He was a goalie. He was also the all-time leader in playoff victories, games played, and shutouts. 2006, Barry Bonds of the San Francisco Giants hit his 715th career home run. The home run allowed Bonds to pass Babe Ruth on the all-time list into second place. 2017, Takuma Sato became the first Japanese and Asian driver to win the Indianapolis 500. Sports quote of the day: the minute you start talking about what you're going to do, if you lose, you've lost already. George Schultz. And that's a wrap right there on Sports History, all brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. All right. So that's a wrap on today in Sports History, Pearly. Your Dodgers moving to LA in 1957. That was good stuff for you right there.
Yep. A few good years before I was born.
A few good years before you was born.
Watch him out. Watch him out. Be on radio. Be careful.
All right, so let's slide into who's in and who's out. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. But no, before we get, sorry, by Travel Guitars. Before we get to that, though, you got to check out scene. All brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. And don't forget, today is Wednesday. It's all about Whopper Wednesday today. Yeah, go get that Whopper combo, fries, and that soft drink. That great price of $9.95, VAT included. All right, be sure to check that out at your favorite Burger King Nassau location. All right, let's check out the local sports scene. Junior team secure finals berth. This is in soccer, in inter-school soccer. And there's finals action going on today, too. We'll get those results as soon as they become available. Otabar has second best throw of her career. Story by Sheldon Longley. We're talking about our local javelin Olympian.
Sensation,
if you want to say. Don't Blink launches Queens of Paradise softball series. We'll have them on the show and talk to them more about that. They're bringing the ladies playing softball as well. The BLTA, Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association, offering a coaching course. And a Jazz Chisholm ready to be back in the next couple of days, back in the Yankees lineup.
Wonderful, wunderbar, wonderful.
And we also had Venus Williams visit the Bahamas over the weekend. And she shared her experiences. That was good to see Venus doing her thing. All right.
I have a cousin who's a huge tennis fan, and she's been to like U.S. Open so many times. And I looking for the other day, where are you? And sends me a picture. This is where I'm at. I said, oh, do you, girlfriend? Do you?
All right, let's jump on in, Pearly. Who's in and who's out? All brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. And a lot of fallout out of Chicago, their quarterback. Now having to defend himself and saying that he wanted to be a Bear all along. Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams on Wednesday defended his commitment to the organization that drafted him with the number overall pick in 2024. That was open to the media. Williams delivered a 3-minute, 55-second opening statement that addressed his feelings about the Bears organization related to the pre-draft process. Experts from author Seth Wickersham's upcoming book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback, revealed that Williams and his father, Carl, had considered ways to avoid the former Heisman Trophy winner from being drafted by the Bears. Williams said that the fallout has been a distraction over the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Just let the kid play, man. I mean, come on, Chicago, do a better job putting the product on the field, and then maybe players won't want to, maybe they will want to play for you rather than not play for you.
Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win. And, if you know you can be drafted by an organization that ain't serious, I listen, I ain't blaming for if he did it. I don't blame him, but I understand. But they want to win. They don't want break win. They want to win games. They want to win championships. And the Bears right now got a crappy organization. And I said it. I said it, Bears fans. I said it. Crappy.
All right, some more news out of the NFL. Vrabel stresses decision-making amid Diggs' video. Apparently, he's getting on Stephon Diggs for his off-the-field videos and antics. So I don't know how that relationship's going to work out. That could be contentious right there in New England already starting.
The coach put his foot down, and that's what you're supposed to do. Now, the player either comply or see you later, alligator.
Flacco wants to lead the Browns quarterbacks by example. That's just trying to say, I just trying to keep this seat warm to go to the sideline and keep collecting a check.
Hey, that's fine, and this is what he brings to it, some experience. I think he could be a good teacher to them. And if he's doing that, hats off to you, Flock.
Here's another one. New York Giants. Russell Wilson takes first team reps. Neighbors sits. That's to be expected. He's nursing injuries and coming off injuries. Russell Wilson taking the first team starts, but I still think Jackson Dart may play his way into that starting role at some point during the season in New York. But it makes sense for Wilson to take the snaps now. He's the clear-cut number one for the moment.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised. Fresh start for him, you never know what could happen. You never know.
Well,
I don't think Pittsburgh was the right fit for him. If the Giants could put together a good offensive line, I think he'd be all right.
All right, well, Purdy, I need you to talk to this. This is out of Miami Gardens, Florida. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill says he has shifted his mentality as he enters his fourth season with the team after a disappointing 2024 campaign that made headlines on and off the field. Hill spoke to local media from the team's practice facility Wednesday after a limited participation in the Dolphins' OTA practice. He underwent surgery on his right wrist shortly after the 2024 season ended and isn't expected to resume catching passes until training camp this year. It was Hill's first time speaking with local media since suggesting a trade request after Miami's season-ending loss to the New York Jets in January. During that loss to the Jets, Hills also made himself unavailable to play in the second half, which coach Mike McDaniel said he did not condone. Hill was quoted as saying, "It was tough, man. Obviously, emotions were high then, but at the end of the day, I'm just looking to move forward from that, hoping that I can prove myself and prove to my teammates that I'm still one of them ones. Man who's chasing 2K, receiving yards, still one of those ones chasing playoff dreams and all of that great stuff." So what's going on with him and his ton of children?
I think that when he made that statement, I don't think he was thinking properly, and the fallout has been like really bad. So I think he's trying to make up. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Maybe Kansas City. I don't mind the trade to Kansas City for the cornerback. I think Williams. Well, that might be a gun and maybe a third or fourth round pick. I'll take that if he wants to go. We've got a receiver room. We've got a really good offense. If he wants to leave that and go where, if he can.
But isn't Jalen Waddle just as equally good without Tyreek Hill as he is with him?
Yeah, that's why I said we've got a good offensive team. We've got a good wide receiver crew, and we drafted one this year. I mean, as a.
We lost you there, Purdy.
Say that again.
You dipped in and out.
Yeah, I'm right here.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think your wide receiver room goes down if you lose Tyreek Hill. I don't think Waddle is as good without Tyreek Hill as he is with him.
I think Waddle is as good where if any quarterback, any wide receiver, where you don't have the double team is going to be really good. You're not going to get away by double teaming Waddle if Tyreek Hill is not there. Not anymore. Not with Achane coming out of the backfield. Not with Washington. Not with we've got the player. Not with the tight end we got. It's not that easy anymore. It's not that easy anymore. So I think the Dolphins' success is not whether Tyreek Hill is there. Is whether Tua is on the field.
So you think Tua is the linchpin?
Tua is the linchpin. Tua is the way the Dolphins go as far as Tua carry them, and no one else.
So Tua, do you think is going to make that whole situation go?
Tua is the key to Miami winning. Key to Miami winning. Tua is the man.
Wow. I mean, I think a lot of other people would say other components make up the success for that Dolphins team.
The other components
make part of it.
Of course, there are other success that make up the component. But the leader of it, remember we talked about this the other day, but Steph, but Kobe and others, that one key player that's the glue that brings everything together is whether Tua is on the field. Tua played 17 games in 23, and the Dolphins had a really good year. Tua played 11 games last year and took a lot of beating, and Tua didn't get it. It's important that Tua is on the field. It's important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking that from you. That offense goes as does Tua go, so does that offense. But I'm thinking if you got a good backup quarterback, then maybe that eliminates that element of if Tua gets hurt, which hangs over you with looms.
No, I agree with you with that. But still, he is the key. The Dolphins, if Tua's not on the
field, and I feel better. We got the same issues in Dallas with Dak being hurt the same way. So I'm not being critical. Let's go to the call.
If Tua plays, Miami has a good chance of winning. If Tua doesn't play, Miami has no chance of winning.
All right, let's get to the phone lines. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
What's happening?
Yeah, Prince, what's going on, man? I agree with 100%. I agree.
You with what?
I'm Naughty. By the way, happy belated anniversary, man.
Thank you, man. I will let MJ know as well. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, you and MJ, man. Happy belated. But I agree with Pearly 100%. Pearly, with the receiver name now, what was going on bad with us, man? We're catching all the touchdowns. When catch the touchdown against the Jets in the overtime. The
Jets? That's not Washington, eh?
No, our receiver, man. What is catching all the touchdowns? What do you name now? Would you say come from a ladder or something off the bench?
Oh, you mean the tight end?
Yeah. Who?
You Naughty?
Me neither too.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. I'll tell you right now, though. It's not.
Yeah, who's
tight end for who?
Getting all the touchdowns and everything, man. Yeah.
The tight end for which team?
For Miami. And then
You're
the game in the
talking about
against the Jets.
John O. Smith. You're correct.
John O. Smith. We still have him, right?
You know more about your team than you do.
Right,
No,
we still have him, right?
Listen to me, son. Don't. I just it just slipped my mind. My mind on Dodgers time right now.
And then he got started with us last year, like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
John
we
O.
still
Smith.
have him, my buddy.
John O. Smith win me a fantasy championship last year. Big respect to John O. Smith, man.
Right.
Okay,
yeah,
then.
man.
Okay.
I hope we still have him. And Monday night, you see, Naughty, you and MJ was right. I go on with OKC too. Because after Minnesota blew them out by the 41 points, I know they would have been out of gas. I know they couldn't do that match that 2 games back to back.
And OKC to cover 2 points?
And that was the closest game because all the other games was blown. But they play. But it take too long to get in the game. Like he scored, in the second quarter. He was aggressive like the game before that when they blew them out by 40-something. I really believe they go on tonight. I really believe they go. I believe New York go on tomorrow night. But I really want more basketball. I want to see more basketball. Man, I want them to.
I said it joking around the first show when the conference playoffs started. We could go back and I said it jokingly. I said Oklahoma City, Indiana, and I said, but I want to revisit it and see actually who it is. But boy, I tell you, any one of these finals would have been good. Minnesota, New York would have been good too.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so New York would have been
I don't
good
think it's
too.
over with New York yet. I think New York is going to go home and find some pride because they looked like crap last night. They looked like they weren't there. They looked like they were. I mean, they were jogging back on defense, and they were just getting. And Indiana picked up on that. But I think they're going to win home and put the pressure on Indiana to win games.
Plus the 6 points in that one, then I'll take that all day.
Well, I hope so though, so we can get more basketball, man. Because that's up the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference 3-1, eh? But all right, then we can link, man. Yeah, we can talk tomorrow after we should go down tonight. But I really believe they get home tonight. That's it. The 2 of them go rest up till the finals with us June 5th. That's next week, Wednesday. 2 of them that will be the series. The 2 of them series will be over by tomorrow night. All right, brothers.
Wow.
Next week Thursday though. But wow.
I think you could have a good run with Oklahoma City and Indiana. I think that they got some good players, and they,
The only problem with that is ratings will not be what you think they will be.
All right, here we go.
2 very small market teams.
Naughty, tell Pearly Kansas City don't want him. We only draft champions. And so sorry to reveal to Pearly, but 2 is just 1 concussion away from permanent injury. Another texter. Naughty, I agree.
Hold on, stop, Naughty, stop. I want to answer that texter first.
But wait a minute, I got another texter, very simple. Please
right.
tell Pearly stop waffling about Tua. Tua is definitely a concussion machine.
Every player that walks in the field is only 1 good hit away from not playing again. And see, you've been lucky. Kansas City fans. Let me tell you something. You're lucky. You've been very lucky, Kansas City. You've been very lucky to have a healthy quarterback. That luck will soon run out. And not wishing it on anybody, not wanting it on anybody, but that luck will soon run out. Very soon. Sooner than you know.
Naughty, tell Pearly that now that Caitlin Clark is out for a few weeks or even the rest of the season, it's time for Angel Reese to superstar for the WNBA that she claims to be. All eyes are now solely on Angel Reese to be the superstar. What say Pearly to that?
Bring it on.
But it's just more than Caitlin and Angel. I mean, it's more players in the WNBA why people watch. You know what I mean?
The Sky problem with last year is not Angel. The Sky problem, they didn't have any good guard play. Indiana went out and got some good players. Indiana made some good moves to get some good players. So I don't want y'all to think it's Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a dirty player. Yeah, I said it, a dirty player. She had 2 incidences. She had 2 incidences where she had some really aggressive fouls, where she tried to just from behind, she wouldn't dare do it to her face. hit Angel Reese from behind and then break off running. And then I forget the player from New York, she hit and break off running.
She could go hide behind those big forwards who they paying to protect her for sure. Naughty, can you give me 52's contact, please? I heard him say he's in the upholstery business. I'm looking to cover a chair. 52, send us your name of your business, please, so we could, and contact your business contact so we could put it out there. You got some clients, potential clients.
And we don't charge for the first one, 52.
Right, but after that, yeah, we got to get a commission. You know how that go. We need bare money. Football season coming up.
Hey, man. You got to get us that grill going and the steak money, too.
Yeah, there you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But we got to get to a break, right, Mr. Producer? So let's get to that break now. We'll come back. Pearlie and I will jump into the picks. We'll wrap things up. We got a great Final 15 today. Rich Eisen taking us home. And Rich breaking it down, the whole paces and a beat like a superstar in the making, coming off his historic Game 4 performance as well. Rich Eisen breaking it down for you, man. Do you think Tyrese could actually be another potential face of the NBA moving forward? We'll figure all of that out and we'll answer those questions on the flip side of the break. All brought to you, of course, wrapping up this segment, and we'll get to the picks, like I said, on the flip side of the break. All brought to you, of course, by the Island Game, all right? So keep it right where you got it. The Wednesday, May 28th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
That's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take them for them, for you, for everybody in this room, but they don't seem to see many coming through.
Saturday, May 31st will be hype because the Free National Movement and Nassau Top DJs are taking over. R.M. Bailey Park, Robinson Road, with the F&M Annual Fair and Raffle. Bring the whole crew. That's family, friends, and even your pets. There will be cooked and grilled food. Music by the Infinity Band, featuring Novi Pierre, plus the Pope of DJs. Tank, Select the Zone, featuring DJ Wampa, DJ Cannon, DJ T-Mac, and DJ Ace of Spades to keep the party going all day long.
It's yours truly, Select the Zone. Catch me live at the F&M Fair. It's going to be fun, pretty great fun activities. Also, some lucky winner is going to walk away with a grand prize drawing of $10,000. You heard it from Select the Zone. I'm fully endorsing the message. You'll catch us live. You'll come out, and some lucky winner is going to win big with the F&M.
Get your tickets from the F&M headquarters on Mackey Street or any F&M party member.
It's your boy DJ Tank, the Pope of DJ Affairs. Come meet me and Nassau's top DJs Saturday, May 31st, R.M. Bailey Park, Robinson Road. The vibes are free, the food is hot, and the cash is real. Big money, $10,000.
Unstoppable together.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. Surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all family islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
The 2025 Samuel P. Hagan High School Soccer Nationals are here. May 15th through 16th in Grand Bahama. May 21st to 30th in Nassau at the Roscoe A.L. Davies Field. Top teams from Nassau, Freeport, Eleuthera, and Abaco battle for the crown in the Duncan Girls and J.S. Johnson Boys divisions. Calling all junior Junction groups. Come out, bring the vibes, and rep your school. Inclusive matches, music, food daily. Gates open at 3 p.m. Visit bahamasfa.net. Be there.
Turn up the heat and the flavor with the new Jalapeno Fire from KFC. Crunch into the iconic taste of KFC's original recipe, extra large filet that's made with KFC's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices cooked to perfection. Stacked high with spicy jalapeno peppers, pepper jack cheese, and our cool but kickin' jalapeno sauce, all wrapped up in a soft toasted brioche bun. Go bolder and crank up the heat with our spicy zinger filet. The new Jalapeno Fire is bringing the heat, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, May 28th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and the company. Right up until 6 p.m. We got Earl the Pearl in the building. Pearly, last couple of minutes before we get out of here, man. But that situation in Indiana, do you think Halliburton could be one of the new faces of the league or outright steal it and become face of the league?
I don't like him, so I don't want to comment.
Why you don't like him?
Something, he must be too light skinned. I don't know, but something.
You're mad at us, right?
I shouldn't say I don't like him. Let me say, I shouldn't say I don't like him, but there's something about him that my spirit don't take to. Not like I like Ja Morant, Curry. You know, not even like I like Ant-Man, even though to some degree I really don't care for Ant-Man too much. You know, not like I like Luka. You know what I mean?
Boy, listen here. Pearly say, watch and see, man. Tyrese Halliburton can take over, man. Watch it. Black Magic. Okay.
Listen, first of all, the brother ain't been the Eastern Conference yet and ain't been the NBA title yet. When that happened, we could have that conversation. All right? But not because I've seen fellas going up 3-0 and lose. I've seen fellas lead 3-1 and lose.
Naughty.
So it ain't over till you win 4.
Naughty. Okay, make sure I line it up during football season, but I need to catch up with your co-host, Pearly. You say he's a Dolphin, a Dodger, a Laker, an Angel Reese fan? Oh, yeah. I got to catch up and talk with him, but it sounds like he's salty against light-skinned players. Call a yes to all of the above, except for the saltiness.
Darker the cherry, text the darker the cherry.
Oh, Lord. Pearly has colorized the show today. All because Halliburton is hitting them from deep from 3, I tell you, boy.
Yeah, but listen, real talk and credit where credit, the guy looked good yesterday. Oh, my goodness. It was like, I don't want to say, he was like on point in a basketball game. He was shooting, he was fine passing, he was rebounding. He played a really good game. I had a triple-double, of course. He played a really good game. It was him. And like I say, and I'll say this again, Indiana goes fast. He carries them. No one else. If he goes down hurt tonight, they finish.
Man, Naughty, I just tuned in. So you trying to tell me Angel Reese is a good player? I don't even think she's average. First of all, I would go on record and I've been saying it, and I've been heralding it ahead of time. So when she gets to the WNBA, I could say I told you also. But Juju Watkins, the guard from USC, is better than both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, in my opinion. But now, if you want to talk specifically about Angel Reese, all I'm going to say to you is you don't set the WNBA record for consecutive double-doubles by being an average player. She's a good player in her own right. Yeah, she might have issues making layups right now, but she's still rebounding, she's still scoring, and she's still playing for that team. So, and at a high level.
She leads the league in rebounding. Up in the top, she's in the leaderboard as a rebounder. And anything coming off the board is hers. Now, if she ain't laying it up right, that's something she got to work on. But outside of that, if it missed, she grabbing it.
Right now, she's like a Dennis Rodman to me. Yeah, I know I'm bad with the defense and the rebounds, but she got to score. She got to, get into that territory because she's gone away from what she's good for.
Regan Rush?
I think by the end of the year, she's going to average a double-double anyway. So I don't think I think it's much to do about nothing at this stage. But no, text. I can't say she's average. No, I can't do that. I think she's above average. All right. But Pearly, a lot of people trying to put the pressure out now on Angel Reese to carry the league.
That's all right. She will. People come to see her to play.
Well, she better put get people out there because apparently Caitlin now is injured. And what's the status of that injury? Is it a couple of weeks or is it actually for the season?
She's scheduled to meet. She's going to miss the next 4 games.
So
she's going to miss. There's
that-
a possibility. There's a possibility game. She's going to miss. I'm going to tell you right now which game she's going to miss. Boy, which game is she going to miss? I just read up on it. The Fever. Just read up on it. Actually, was on ESPN as well. So she's going to miss tonight's game, which is with the Mystics. She's going to miss the game on Friday night with the Sun. She's going to miss the game on Tuesday night with the Mystic. She may make it back for the Angel Reese game on Saturday the 7th. If not, she'll be back hopefully by the 10th.
All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick, Pearly. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Did they run away?
Yeah, they got to call us back. All right, let's get to the picks, Pearly. All brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust. And the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. Let's check out what we got tonight. And obviously it comes from the NBA.
Yeah.
No brainer there. You got the Thunder minus 8.5 over the 220.5. Listen to me. I'm going to go with the over of 220.5. I don't think they cover the 8.5. If you want to bet it for a win, then I would take the Thunder and the money line and play it safe and over the 220.5.
I'm going to take over the 220. I'm going to take over the 220.5, but I'm going to take the Minnesota Timberwolves and the points.
Yeah, you might be onto something with that. It might be less than 9. Now, and that's what
I think if the OKC wins, they're going to win by a bucket or two. But I have a feeling that Minnesota's going to sneak this one and force a game 6 in Minnesota.
All right, well, we'll see how it pans out.
I just want to see 2 Game 7s.
At the end of the day, Game 7s are always a good thing, but unless your team loses, then they're not a good thing.
Yeah. And I like your Yankees tonight over the Angels. Just make you feel a little better.
And I like the Chicago Cubs over the Colorado Rockies because they're the Colorado Rockies.
I like anybody over the Colorado Rockies. The fella say yesterday, so, the Yankees beat up on the Rockies. The fella said, no, everybody beats up on the Rockies.
The Rockies beat up on the Yankees once or twice too, though.
The Rockies 9-46.
Yeah, well, they got one of them 9 against us.
I think the Rockies. I really believe the Rockies almost already eliminated from the playoffs.
I think they are, but anyway,
it ain't that bad. They 24.5 games behind the Dodgers. 24.5 games.
They ain't winning that division. I'll tell you that much.
Sorry,
they ain't winning that division. I'll tell you that much.
And they got a 9-46 record. They got the worst record in baseball. The closest team to them. Who's the closest team to them in losses? I'm trying to see this right. The closest team to them in losses is Chicago. Chicago got 18 losses. 18
the White Sox.
Wins. The White Sox get 18 wins, and the Rockies get 9.
Yeah,
those two suck. They when you go to play the Rockies gonna beat you here and there because they're major league players. So you expect that.
But they ain't gonna beat you every day. But anyway, pretty good stuff. We got to get to the break, man. You got it tomorrow, man. Who's your guest tomorrow?
I got Therese Turner Jones, an economist, former vice president of the IDB. We're going to talk the budget and we're going to talk the economy.
Good stuff, man. We'll listen in tomorrow, man. And before we get out of here, let's grab this caller real quick before we get on out of here. Talking Heads. Talking Heads. All right, caller, we got to try us back tomorrow, man. We're going to get to the break. Flip side of the break, we got Rich Eisen taking us home, man. Is Halliburton about to be the next face of the league after that big game 4 performance in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals? All right, we'll talk that and more on Friday with the Recon Review. It'll be yours truly, MJ and Purdy doing it big time. But Purdy's got it tomorrow, so be sure to check him out right here on Talking Heads. We'll see you mañana.
Time on my ride. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take them for them, for you. for everybody in this room, but they don't seem to see many coming through. See many coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's hard to do, even harder to say when you.
Fancy this, one-of-a-kind Pesto Club sandwiches from Burger King Nassau like you've never tasted before. Choose from a juicy chicken breast or 100% flame-grilled beef patty topped with irresistible fresh pesto spread, cheese, crisp bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Or start your mornings right with the Pesto Chicken Crisp Sandwich for breakfast. It's a delicious chicken patty topped with cheese, tomato, fresh pesto spread on a classic buttery BK croissant. The Pesto Club sandwiches are new, fresh, and only at Burger King Nassau.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
The technicians at Muffler World on Mackey Street and Robinson Road can do a lot of things to make your car perform better. Like make sure the wheels are properly aligned, and that your brakes actually work, and that your car is using the correct oil and in fact has oil. Those same techs can replace your entire exhaust system. Check out Muffler World for the top of the line Walker muffler. Now if you want your ride to sound rude, Muffler World can help you there too with a system by Flowmaster. Muffler World, Mackey Street and Robinson Road. Mufflers and a whole lot more.
Been off the WSC grid for over a year? Now's the time to come back and save big. For a limited time only, the Water and Sewage Corporation is offering up to 50% off reconnection fees for customers disconnected for more than 1 year. Don't miss this chance to reconnect and enjoy reliable, quality water service at a discounted rate. Call 302-5599 to learn more. Water and Sewage Corporation, dedicated to dependable, affordable water solutions.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Hey, listen. We start this program with me demanding names. I need names. In this day and age where there's unnamed sources, per source, a whole family of sources, per source, as you know, is the Scandinavian cousin of unnamed source. And we just need to know names. Put names behind your comments. Put names behind your votes that are sometimes not announced. I need names of the individuals in the association that voted Tyrese Halliburton as the most overrated player in the NBA. I need names on that front. The Athletic held a poll, took names from these unnamed people, and outspat one name for the most overrated player in the National Basketball Association, and his name is Tyrese Halliburton. I need your names on the table.
Let's get them all. Let's hit them all now while we got the
muscle. Frank Pantangeli wants to know.
Let's get them all.
And I gotta tell you, Tyrese probably felt like Frank Pantangeli getting a C note from the Rosado brothers. That was offensive to him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
and
did not like that.
Being named overrated is like getting a C note from the Rosado brothers. We're making Godfather Part 2 references nonstop here.
That's what we do.
How the hell Does somebody take a look at Tyrese Halliburton and say that guy's overrated? That should be over. End of story.
Yeah.
Sigh all you want about what the regular season was or whatever it is.
I'm not talking about last night. I'm talking about the previous years.
This
You could
is
see why.
2 postseasons in a row for this guy. And what he has done is he showed up in this series with Jalen Brunson, the Nick who brought me back in.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care how many basketballs James Dolan gives out to Knick fans standing by like it's his bread and circus from the back of his limousine. Won't get out. But here, take 2 basketballs I have in the back here. Please tell everyone about it. Shoot it on social media. I'm a great guy. I love Cat. You know how I feel about Cat. All of the Villanova guys. They've been great. But one guy showed up and says, I'm the best player on the court. I'm the best player in this series. And he wears number 0 for the Indiana Pacers. And that's even with Pascal Siakam coming up with a 30-point game last night. He had 39 a couple of games ago. He's playing out of his skull. Everybody in Indiana wearing a Pacers or a Yes Sirs shirt is feeling it right now, and they are following this guy's lead. 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds in a game Indiana had to have to avoid going back to New York all square again. Going back to square one in Madison Square Garden with a best-of-3 series for the right to go to the NBA Finals. With all of that pressure on Halliburton and the Pacers, Halliburton says, I will come up with a triple-double almost by halftime. I will come up with a triple-double overall. And the most important stat of all, 0 turnovers. 0.0. Full Blutarski on that category. First player in NBA playoff history with 30 or more points, 15 or more assists, 10 or more rebounds, and no turnovers. Well, since they started recording turnovers in the 1977-78 season. I don't know why they weren't recording turnovers before then. I guess just dribble it off your leg all you want. We have no idea. I guess so. There was a lot happening. I know. Exactly. Yeah. One person with an abacus sitting there.
Trying to, And Kuzi was just, had the balls going all over the place.
Here's an even more impressive stat. He scored 32 points. The Pacers scored 33 points on 14 of 22 shooting, 63.6% on the 15 assists. On the passes that Halliburton sent to his teammates. 22 passes, and he had 33 points coming off of Halliburton passes last night. And that's all she wrote. And what the Pacers do is they just run you out of the building. In this day and age where it's just like pound the rock, pick and roll, find the open 3-point shooter, shot. They're tough to stop. They are relentless. Relentless. And you got to give it up to Rick Carlisle. He plays a deep bench. He doesn't tighten the rotation. He trusts everybody out there. That's not a shot at Tom Thibodeau. It's just what the Pacers do. And what the Pacers have done is take a 3-1 lead, and Halliburton leading the way. And give it up to Carlisle. Mark Cuban on a podcast for New York Magazine. Don't really usually mention these, but Cuban was on this podcast dropped just yesterday, telling the story again that he told, I think, on Pat Bev's podcast a couple of years ago, that they were trying to move up to beat the Kings to Tyrese Halliburton in his draft. Okay. He was just a mere college kid, roommates with Brock Purdy. Boy, those guys killing it these days. Mm-hmm. And the Mavericks saw something in Halliburton. According to Cuban, they were considering trading a pretty damn good player to move up for the right to take Halliburton and couldn't do it. And the player they were considering trading to move up, named Jalen Brunson. According to Cuban, couldn't pull off the trade. But one guy did pull off a trade for Tyrese Halliburton after he joined the Indiana Pacers as their head coach. It was the coach at the time of the Mavericks, Rick Carlisle, who has had his eye on Tyrese Halliburton and has believed in Tyrese Halliburton since the jump and has every reason to say this after going up 3-1 with that perfect, damn near perfect game in the biggest situation by Halliburton.
He was really throwing the ball ahead tonight, too, which was really important for us. And to not have any turnovers in any of those situations, too, is pretty remarkable. But this has become his thing. And, there will be a new statistical category perhaps named after him somewhere down the line. Him and Chris Paul, these guys, there aren't a lot of guys. I know Stockton didn't turn it over much back when he played. There are others. LeBron James didn't turn it over very much. You can go right down the line, some of the all-time greats. And so I know he takes great pride in it, and that's a motivating factor.
And he's going to have to be better than SGA, because that appears to be what's next. Because unless Oklahoma City suffers a 3-game losing streak after winning 68 games in the regular season, and unless the Pacers suffer a 3-game losing streak after doing what they did in the first 4 games of this series, which is essentially run the Knicks out of buildings or run them down after the Knicks have big leads in their own building, these two are going to meet in the NBA Finals. And that's something the Knicks fans are going to have to deal with, because they're going to have to dig deep now, everybody. This team that everybody felt destined, and they're celebrating the dispatching of the defending champion Celtics, saying we're going to take, at least this time around, we're going to take on the Pacers, and OG's not going to have a hammy, and Brunson's not going to have an ankle. We're going to be healthy. Only won once. That's it. They're not the better team. They're not the deeper team. They're not the better coach team. That's a fact. It's tough to handle right now. It ain't easy. It's not easy. Because, Knicks are supposed to beat these Pacers because, they had a better record than the Pacers. Last year it was because they were injured. That's why they didn't beat the Pacers. Now they were healthy, had home court advantage, dropped in their laps because the Celtics blew 2 20-point leads at home and then lost their all-world player to an Achilles injury. And the Cavs, in their 64 wins, they got hurt. They got eliminated. That's the reason why the Pacers made it to the Knicks in the first place. Well, guess what? This is a better team. Yeah. And unless the Knicks find some reserve here, some kind of way to slow down the Pacers and defend Halliburton in a way that causes him to one turnover. Just give me one. Force one. Keep Siakam off the boards. Have an answer for him. Have an answer for Miles Turner. Have an answer for Nesmith and Nembhard. TJ McConnell coming off the bench. The killer last night. The killer 3 that put the nail in the coffin from Obi Toppin, for crying out loud, in front of Chalamet. God, country, and Chalamet again.
I think that was the most depressing and disappointing part.
Toppin.
For a Knicks fan to have Obi Toppin.
Yeah. That's the guy that put the nail in the coffin after Turner fouls out. So they've got to win Game 5, force Game 6, put the pressure on them again, because you don't want to go back to the Garden in Game 7, then win Game 7. Good luck with the way that these Pacers are playing and being coached. This is what the leader of the Knicks had to say afterwards.
We've been a team that has kind of found a way to do the impossible when it always seemed impossible. We just keep fighting. So it's going to be a testament to our whole playoff run. You know, now we have to be in one of the biggest fights of our lives and of our season, and it starts with next game. So just taking it game by game. Don't look ahead. Just worry about the first quarter of the next game, and we'll deal with the rest later.
Yeah, I mean, that's Karl Anthony Towns sitting next to the leader in Brunson. You know?
Does Cat need Tom Cruise or something?
Because it's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, that was my review of Mission Impossible, as you sit around and you talk about the mission and how you need to complete the mission, and then everyone around says, well, that's impossible. And then they cut to the next scene, where you, as the fan of the movie, already know what the mission is and how impossible it is. And now we cut to Madison Square Garden on Thursday night.
Rich, if I can offer just a slight bit of pushback, you said that earlier that you felt this was a must-win for the Pacers going back to the Garden, but the Knicks are 3-5 in the playoffs at home, so like home isn't even a sanctuary for them. It's
the other thing too is, what is their record in front of Chalamet? Should he just stay home?
No, it's not. Don't blame it on.
Chalamet's been in every game, so it's.
Yeah, why would you blame it on Chalamet? You can blame it on Ben Stiller too and Spike.
Yeah, maybe those guys should stay home.
No, I don't think it's on them.
You could blame it on.
You know what they
it's
need?
not on the celebrities.
You know what they need? They need
Garden. Give me a break.
more of the fans all wearing the same.